The doorway is original. 18th century dark oak wood, hand-carved engravings on the doorframe. Roughly translated, it reads, "Only the worthy can wield perfection." Impossibly delicate and intricate for the time, it's said the woodsmith worked a full week without sleeping or eating, eventually driving him to terminal madness. But I really like the way it brings the whole room together. And I am a sucker for a story. Take these walls, also the originals. You'll find almost everything from the floorboards to the roof tiles have been here since the house was constructed, built by hand back in 1730 by a couple of newlyweds. But after tragedy struck the husband with an incurable vague affliction, the new widow wept herself into a terrible madness. Since then, the house has been a host to a criminally insane number of happy residents, some staying for a few days, others never truly leaving. Only one officially forced to vacate on account of horrific madness. Oh yes, if these walls could talk, they'd tell you what really happened to the last tenants. They'd tell you of a family, so picturesque you could cut the white picket fence and count the 2.5 children. A banker and a homemaker, a teenager, preteen, and toddler, all blonde smiles and blue blood. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Their blood was red, just like everyone else's. If these walls could talk, they'd tell you it was not all as it seemed in happy families. They'd tell you of a banker who hated the daily grind and would stamp furiously and rudely up and down the groaning, beautiful stairway. They'd tell you of a homemaker. Unsatisfied in other ways, they took that beautiful quest for nesting perfection and twisted it into nothing is ever good enough. One must be clinically crazy to see this enormous 6x6 pantry as unacceptably small. Do you hear that? Exactly. These walls form a natural soundproofing. You could scream bloody murder and not a single soul would hear you scream. The walls are great listeners. Sadly, they cannot talk. But if they could, they would ask why one would disturb that beautiful silence with anything, let alone the non-stop teenage telephone calls of nothing that mattered, nothing that would be remembered. If these walls could talk, they'd tell you of a shy preteen and a toddler that seemed possessed to draw on the walls. They'd tell you about the night it happened. The night homemaker was chopping veg without a cutting board, the way the knife slipped, chipping the countertop. They'd tell you that was the last straw. They'd tell you of a sound that drew the homemaker into the pantry, how the door closed on its own, how the door began to shrink, how the homemaker shrieked, "Is it still too small?" If these walls could talk, they'd tell you how preteen arrived to tell teenager just in time to see them being sucked into the phone ear first, how it still wasn't quiet enough, how banker ran from upstairs somehow more heavy-footed than before, so much so that when they ran down the stairs swallowed them whole and bit down with the sound of snapping bone. If these walls could talk, they'd tell you how preteen held a crying toddler as the room grew dark, how shapeless, screaming shadow encircled them, reared its head like a serpent, how preteen closed their eyes, how that did not matter. Oh yes, if these walls could talk, what a story they'd tell. Shall we move on to the basement? Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, we'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button, if you could hit the subscribe button, and make sure to ring that bell icon so you don't miss any updates from us in the future. If you want to go that extra mile and support us a little further, we do have a Patreon channel with loads of exclusive goodies, and you can sign up for as little as $1 a month. We appreciate your help, guys, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.